Welcome to Fran's Kitchen, Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to make rolls and cinnamon rolls today. Did you turn it off in between the...
No, just, but, so what ingredients are we going to start with?
Right now we are going to put a stick of margarine in a large bowl and add 6 tablespoons of sugar. And 3 tablespoons of salt. Gilbert, will you give me the salt, please?
Where is it?
That's it. In the cabinet. 3 teaspoons of salt. We're boiling water right now, 1.5 cups we will add to what we have already put in the bowl, and we'll mix that. The boiling water will melt the margarine, sugar and salt, and then we'll proceed with the evaporated milk, and we have to wait for that to cool to lukewarm. So we're waiting right now. I like to use a plastic spoon.
Would a wooden spoon work?
A wooden spoon would work very well, but this is convenient for me, and I've been using it for several years, and something I enjoy using.
Tell us about the bowl. Is it important to be this size, or no? Is there something special about this bowl?
Well, because of using my grandmother's bowl that's over 100 years old, been in the family all these years, it's ideal because the mixture is going to expand when it starts to rise over a period of 2 hours at the first rising. So it does need to be a pretty good sized bowl. If one has a wooden bowl, large, that's very good too. So it has to be a pretty large bowl. We will just wait now. It'll be just a few minutes before we have the water boiling.
I have to figure out a way to pause this thing when I want to pause it, but I don't know how. Even when we add the evaporated milk, this boiling water may not be cooled enough to lukewarm before we start adding the yeast. So it won't rise as it should. I've been making water now. You're doing what?
I'm dissolving the yeast in the warm water.
Uh-huh. to add to the liquid in the bowl. I have a cup of lukewarm water, a packet of yeast. Of course, this is what's going to make it rise. Now it will be time to start adding the flour. I probably added at least 2 cups to begin with, and I'll just stir that.
How did you know there was 2 cups when you started pouring?
I imagined that there was about 2 cups in that amount of flour. I was just pouring out of the bag.
So for the novice, they better measure out 2 cups at a time?
Not really. It's going to take a lot more, but we just take some in stages
I see.
until we can tell how thick it's going to be, until you can't stir it with a spoon anymore, and then you have to work it with your hands.
But all total, typically for this batch of bread or rolls, it would be how many cups of flour?
It might take 6 cups, you know. But just through experience, you will find that you will know just when it gets to that point where you can't handle it anymore, and it just takes on its own life. And I might say it's worth every minute. And the final results appear that it pleases everybody and they enjoy it. There goes another amount. I started out with a 5-pound sack of flour, but I've already made another batch, which took about half of the bag full.
Is this, what kind of flour? Is this all-purpose?
It's unbleached, all-purpose flour, and it's been very successful over the years. There's other types of flour, but for bread making, this method, it works out very well.
What about using something like wheat flour or anything like that?
Well,
Is there a
we could add wheat flour, but it would change the taste. And when I tried that on my family, they preferred that I still use the all-white flour rather than mix it with wheat, which of course is very helpful for us and nourishing. But we don't keep this made up all the time. It's just something special we make a few times a year, depending on what the family might like. Now with that second addition of flour, it's getting to the point where we won't add much at a time to arrive at the right thickness of the batter. This bowl is ideal for making bread of this fashion.
seconds?
This one has left. It's about too thick now to work any more flour in, because they can carry it on through the generations.
Yeah, as long as the baker is patient enough to be filmed on camera. I dare you to do that again at me.
the dough is raised very nicely.
And you had it in the oven for how long?
It was in that cold oven for almost 2 hours. About 2 hours. Okay. Get some pins on it. Greasing the pans. I'm forming the dough into rolls. These will be the plain rolls. Just keep a little flour on your hands to prevent it from sticking.
Okay. Where'd you learn to do this?
I guess I just learned how to do it.
Who'd you learn it from?
My mother.
You say this is your grandmother's bowl that she make these things too?
Yes. Rolls in these pans. they rise again, and in about an hour you can bake them. On them and keep them sticking.
Yeah, then putting a dust on your fingers, otherwise your fingers get real sticky.
Yeah.
Even though you had you said it before you put it in the cold oven for rising the first time, you said something about it putting oil on it, and yet
Oil in that bowl.
oil in the bowl, and that was just to keep it from sticking from the bowl or something, or
Well, yeah. Yeah.
and then
Easier to do the next step.
yeah.
Put a little flour on there to keep it from sticking too much to the paper. And roll. But I can turn this into the sink. Now, I don't know whether Martha Stewart would do it this way, but it's the way this little thing that goes around there.
Yeah.
Yeah? Done. Now, what I do is over. The top side.
Now is that
Put some icing on it. Do that for now.
get another one out of the oven.
Of course, the one thing you can't capture on video is the aroma.
Right.
Now these are usually not as, these don't appear to be as browned on the bottom.
No, in a different position in the oven, you know, but they're done. You know.
That's fine. I have no complaints.
Now you see how simple that is. This one here goes on the bottom, so I think I want this one.